At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps but did not take any oil with them. The wise ones, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight the cry rang out, "Here's the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil. Our lamps are going out." "No," they replied, "there may not be enough for both of us. And you, instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later, the others also came. "Lord, Lord," they said, "open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour."
Thank you, Lucas, for a great reading this morning. So we've just heard from Matthew chapter 25, and we're thinking about how are we supposed to wait for the coming back of Jesus. Well, the first thing to say is that we're told to wait both wisely and watchfully. 2 W's. Our reading is a parable told by Jesus to his disciples about how they should act while waiting for him to come back. The parable is what you might say an earthly story, but with a heavenly meaning. In this parable, Jesus spoke about virgins, which we would think of as bridesmaids, and they're getting ready for a wedding. Now, I wonder if anyone here has perhaps been a bridesmaid. Yeah? Anyone been a bridesmaid? Or a page boy? On screen you'll see something we made earlier. So, now, I don't know why, but here in the UK, it's fashionable for the bride to arrive late for her wedding. But in our parable, it's the other way around. It's the bridegroom, the man, who is late. In fact, he's very late. He didn't arrive until midnight. Fortunately, some of the bridesmaids were wise. They were ready. Maybe they'd had a little bit of a think about this and thought, "Oh, well, this could happen, you know." They had to have lamps lit because in Israel at that time, 2,000 years ago, there were no lamp lights like we have here, no street lights, no torches that they could just flick on with little LED lights which would light up the way for the bridegroom. No, they had to have little oil lamps. And if that lamp ran out of oil, no flame, no light. Big problem. Not to stumble around in the dark. So the wise bridesmaids were prepared. They had spare oil. They kept their lamps burning to provide the light to show the way. Foolish bridesmaids. Well, they thought, "No need for that. It'll be alright. Just have a little coffee, a little latte. Just catch a bit more late. It'll be fine." Wasn't fine. Their lamps all went out. They had to rush off and try and find a store that was open 24/7 to get some more oil. Then the bridegroom turned up while they were off trying to get more oil. The bridegroom arrived, was welcomed by the bridesmaids who had been sensible, wise, prepared. They had their lamps burning. They welcomed the bridegroom with great joy. And they went in to the wedding feast. And as was the custom then, Once everyone was inside, the doors were locked. That meant that when those foolish bridesmaids finally got back with extra oil, knock on the door, door's locked. They couldn't get in. Jesus is coming back, and no one knows when, except God the Father. In our parable, the bridegroom represents Jesus, who will come back one day to be united with his bride, and his bride is the church. Even though we don't know when Jesus will come back, we do know where, because the Bible tells us that he will return to Jerusalem, that he will be on the Mount of Olives when he comes back. And we know how Jesus will come back, because again, the Bible tells us that he will return on the clouds with an army of angels. So Jesus' instruction to us is that we must keep watch, because we don't know the day or the hour when he'll come. Secondly, we should wait for Jesus patiently and without grumbling. In his letter to the church, James tells us to be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. Be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. Notice that James used the word patient twice. When that happens in the Bible, it's there for a reason. So make us notice. It's underlined, highlighted, in bold. Be patient. I suspect that all of us here this morning tend to be impatient, at least sometimes. Maybe you've prayed that prayer, Lord, make me patient and do it right now. And who doesn't enjoy a bit of grumble from time to time? But James warns us that those who grumble will be told off by Jesus. So let's try not to grumble. In John 1, that's John's first letter, and chapter 2, we read these words. And now, dear children, continue in him, so that when he appears, we may be confident and unashamed before him at his coming. John says we should continue to live in Jesus, which means not giving up, even when it's hard and we feel tired and we feel discouraged and we feel that we've lost our hope. John says, keep going. And that's when we need each other. Who's taken part in a race? Living life as a Christian is sometimes referred to as a race. And it's not just a short 50 metres, 100 metres. Living as a Christian is a real marathon race. We have to keep pressing on, so that when Jesus returns, he finds us still up and running, not sitting around doing nothing because we've given up. There'll be a sign when Jesus comes back. That moved! What was the bugle called, Lucas? And did you? No. There will be a trumpet call when Jesus comes back. The trumpet will announce the return of Jesus. In Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians, he said, the Lord himself, that's Jesus, will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God. So let's be ready. If you know that you're ready for Jesus to come back, fantastic. Really enjoy this Advent season and have a great Christmas. If you're not so sure, if all of this seems a bit odd and a bit strange, and you'd like to find out more, have a word with me or Angela or any of the other people who are regulars here at NBC this morning, and we'd love to tell you a little bit more to help you answer those questions that you might have. There's also a prayer team here this morning if you would like further prayer. If when we lit a candle or you wrote something, you just want to pray that through with someone a bit more, then the people on hand to do that this morning.